Hi guys! Okay, so one of our clients is a high-tech manufacturer of high-tech equipment, and one of their business models is a service supply chain where they are responsible to bring equipment into markets that will be used if there is a repair, return, or a replacement unit required. What their challenge was is they wanted to understand a couple of their markets actually in the African region was growing to such an extent where it would warrant for them to open up a service center or a service replacement channel. But they were unsure whether that country would be a suitable fit for their business model. And that's where they reached out to us. So we looked at the situation, and this video is a little bit about what the elements are that you need to look at if you want to penetrate a market. Stay tuned. Okay, so if you want to penetrate a market, it will be important for you to look at a couple of elements. So the first element that we looked at for our client was legislation. You want to make sure that the legislation encompasses exactly what your business model is about. Now, generally, a trading model is mostly described in most legislation. So if you want to buy or sell something, then that is usually very well described in legislation. The challenge is in this global world, there is a lot of non-standard business models these days that are not always well described in the legislation, one of which is the service supply chain. And our client then wasn't 100% sure whether the legislation encompasses is ready for that. So that is number one. I would encourage you to look at the legislation, see if it describes your business model, and understand exactly where is the weak falls of the legislation, where is the elements there where it does not describe your legislation, and what would be your strategy, what would be your approach in those elements if there is a dispute with regards to the legislation that's not that far developed for your business model. Second element that I would recommend you to look at is your operational approach. Is the country already operationally sound and operationally ready to take on your business model? Therefore, is there the Human Development Index well developed? Are the country already understanding the business model in the market, or is this business model really a new one? So in the service supply chain, although it is a well-known industry in industry, it's not always a well-known industry in the markets itself. So it's important to understand, are you the first entering the market? Because if you are the first entering the market of the entire industry, it would be important for you to have meetings with the authorities and explain to them exactly what you're trying to accomplish. Point number three, it would be important to look at the political and the economic, socioeconomic influences of that market. Are they interested in growth? Are they very corrupt? Are they interested in power? Are they interested in economical development of their country to the extent where they would be open to your product? So it's important to look at that entire scope and there to evaluate that in relation to your business model and your products. And then very much important is to look at the regulatory factors. How far is the regulatory factors and the compliance factors already understood in the market? How much are they already implemented in the market? And where exactly does that market operate with regards to your business model? So it was really great. It was a lovely project that we worked on for this client in a number of countries, evaluating this market for them, being able to develop for them a clear strategy for every one of these markets. If they face challenges, what would be their recourse, what operational elements to implement, whether it's a high-risk market, a medium-risk market. It is always a lot of fun to do those projects, and I encourage you, if you want to penetrate a market, do not do so without being prepared. Wish you all the best. Ciao.